What is up, guys? This is TechnoShocker, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a very special tip I found out on how to one-hit melee in Infinite Warfare. Now, as you know, starting with Call of Duty Black Ops 3, the series has defaulted to a two-hit melee system. A lot of people actually like this system because it gets rid of panic knifing, and that is speculated to be the reason they did it, but a lot of people dislike this because they're used to how the melee system used to be, where it's one and done and you wouldn't have to worry about hitting the enemy a second time. The two-hit melee system is very finicky. Sometimes you can get both hits on them, and sometimes you hit them once and they'll just shoot you in the face. There is said to be a stun after the first melee to assist with the second melee, but to be honest, there isn't much of a stun at all, and if there is one, it sure doesn't really affect much. But this video is going to teach you a very cool way on how to one-hit melee. Now, first things first, in order to do this, you are going to need to have two things unlocked. The first thing you're going to need is the combat knife. Now, you may be thinking, why would I equip a combat knife and run around with it? Of course I'm going to get a one-hit melee, but then I'll be without my gun. But you're missing the key tip, and I'll tell you in a minute. The second thing you're going to need is dexterity. Now, this is very important so you can switch to your secondary weapon very quickly. It also helps you reload quickly, which is an added bonus. So basically, the method I'm going to tell you is whenever you decide to one-hit melee anybody, even when you have your weapon out, whether it be your sniper rifle or your SMG, whatever it may be, if you want to one-hit melee, the thing you have to do is press the switch weapon button and the fire button in a row, right after the other. If you do this correctly, it will switch to your knife, and before you even get a chance to see the animation where he just holds it steady, it'll just do the stab animation immediately, and you'll get a one-hit melee. And then as you're stabbing the enemy, you press the switch weapon button again, and it will switch back to your gun seamlessly. This entire process is extremely seamless. It looks like you just have a knife instead of a punch, and then like it's a one-hit melee from previous Call of Duty games. Now, there is a learning curve to this. You're going to have to get used to pressing the Y or triangle button and then the trigger very quickly. Now, you can press the Y or triangle button, the switch weapon button, and then press the regular melee button, so like clicking in the joystick, but I found it's way easier to press in the trigger or the fire button because you already have your index finger resting on it most of the time, so it's a lot easier than pressing in the joystick. So you're going to have to learn how to do this pretty well, kind of like you would learn to drop shot. After you do it for a while, you're going to get to the point where you do it without even thinking about it. You just press the switch weapon button and the trigger. Immediately you'll stab, and then as you're stabbing, you press the switch weapon button again, and you'll switch right back and keep fighting in the battle. It's an insanely cool tip. I use it on all my classes now, and it works insanely well. This method is also really good for getting your knife gold. If you use it the way I told you with the tips, and you switch to it really quick and stab and then switch back, it makes it really easy to get all your challenges done. As you can see in the video, I have plenty of instances where I turn the corner and there's an enemy and I am ready for them. I don't need to have my gun drawn or anything. I could just run corners knowing that I'm protected with my knife like the good old days. The only difference is this isn't necessarily a panic reflex. You're gonna have to know how to do this. So it isn't like you could just run the corner and if someone surprises you, you're gonna do this. It's most likely that unless you get really good at this and you get really used to this, like I said, like if you got really good at drop shotting, unless you get really good at this to the point where you can panic and do it, then that's probably not going to happen. You're going to have the mindset that you're able to do this as you're going around the corner until you get good enough to do it without even thinking about it. But I encourage you guys all to try this out. Tell me in the comments how it worked out for you. I use this on all my classes now. If I could say there was any downside to this, it's just it uses an extra creative class point to put a knife in your class. I would also recommend permanently unlocking the knife because you do unlock it pretty late. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, and if you'd like to see future content from me, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.